I woke up in the middle of the night, and that's when I felt it. I wasn't alone. This happened about 2 weeks ago. I'm still not totally okay after it, but I can't keep it inside anymore. Holding it in is making me lose my mind. My name's Jake. Most people just call me Jay. I'm 21 and I still live with my parents in Eastern Oregon. And no, it's not the kind of place people imagine when they think about the West. There are no beaches here, no palm trees. Where I live, it snows hard, like real winter, middle of nowhere type of place. Forest everywhere. Our closest neighbor is a 10-minute drive away. I've grown up skiing, so cold doesn't bother me much. I actually like it. But that's not the point. 2 weekends ago, my parents left the country for a wedding. One of my mom's old friends was getting married in Italy. I wasn't invited, but honestly, I didn't care. Having the house to myself for a weekend sounded kind of perfect. Our house isn't special, just a normal one-story place, 3 bedrooms, nothing fancy. My parents' room is on one end of the hallway, mine is on the other end. There's a guest room in the middle that we mostly use to store junk. The kitchen and living room are in the center of the house, and the front door opens straight into the living room. I'm explaining this because it matters later. The first night alone was totally normal. I went to sleep around 2 in the morning and passed out fast. The second night is when everything went wrong. I went to bed around the same time, maybe a little earlier. I remember being more tired than usual, so I fell asleep almost right away. I don't know what time it was when I woke up. I just know it was deep in the middle of the night. That never happens to me. I knew something had woken me up because I always put my phone on airplane mode when I sleep, so it wasn't a notification, but I had no idea what it could have been. I looked around my room, but it was completely dark. As my eyes adjusted, I noticed something that made my stomach drop. My closet door was wide open. I never leave that door open. Ever. It's one of those sliding doors that doesn't stay shut by itself, so every night I make sure it's closed before I go to sleep. I've been weird about open closet doors since I was a kid. The point is, I didn't leave it open. I know I didn't. I started to panic a little. My brain tried to convince me I was still dreaming, but I knew I wasn't. I was wide awake. My heart started pounding, and I had this heavy feeling that something was seriously wrong. Without thinking, I reached for my nightstand, grabbed my phone, and turned on the flashlight. I screamed. There were 2 people standing right next to my bed, just standing there. Before I could even see their faces, they split up and ran in opposite directions, like they were trying to escape the light. They moved insanely fast, almost like they knew I was about to turn the light on. I swung my phone around, trying to keep the light on them, but they were too quick. I heard something hit the floor, but I didn't stop to see what it was. I just started screaming. I don't even know what sounds were coming out of my mouth. It was pure panic. They ran out of my room. I heard their footsteps slamming down the hallway, and without thinking, I chased them. By the time I got out of bed and into the hall, I heard the front door slam shut. I ran into the living room, but they were already gone. I stood there shaking. I don't even know how long. My hands wouldn't stop trembling, and I was just trying to breathe. As soon as I could move, I ran back to my room, locked the door, and called 911. While I waited for the police, sitting in my locked room, I finally turned on the main light. That's when I saw what had fallen on the floor. It was one of my mom's kitchen knives. I almost threw up. Those people had been standing over me with a knife while I was asleep. If I hadn't woken up when I did, I don't even want to think about what could have happened. I probably wouldn't be here. The police arrived about 20 minutes later. They searched the whole property, but of course, no one was there. They took my statement, asked a ton of questions. Then one of the officers said I must have forgotten to lock the front door. I told him I remembered locking it. He just shrugged and said since there were no signs of forced entry and every other door and window was locked, the front door had to be the only way in. I accepted it out loud, but inside, I knew I had locked that door. My parents came home the next day and yelled at me again for forgetting to lock it. There's no point getting into that. It's been 2 weeks now, and I still don't have answers. Forget the door. Why were two people standing in my room with a knife? If they just wanted to rob the house, they could have done it quietly. I wouldn't have noticed them coming or going. At first, I thought they must have known my parents were out of the country. But now, I'm not so sure. Because normal thieves don't stand over someone while they're sleeping, holding a knife. Since that night, I don't sleep the same. Every sound wakes me up. And every time I see my closet door move, even just a little, my heart still drops. Subscribe for more real horror stories. Like the video if you felt this fear too.